Hey, it's Rich, the Louisiana hobby guy. I'm sitting here admiring the print that I just did on the Bambu Labs A1 Mini. And I've done only a couple of 3D printer videos before. This is something new. I've been hearing a lot of great things. And if you're into CNC and you're into lasers, then you're probably going to be into 3D printing because you can print lots of stuff like this angled exhaust vent, this 90-degree exhaust vent for a laser, 4-inch vent. I have never really been a big 3D printer. I do have a friend where I'm printing some custom parts for. I have two printers that are running 24 hours a day at the other shop, and they're just like little corners for shipping, for product shipping. And I really didn't want to run the printers here. I just want to run them over there. So I went online, and I've heard so much about this A1 Mini. I knew that it could do these little corners, maybe not as much as the X1 Carbon that I've got, but I got to tell you, I'm probably more happy with the print from the A1 Mini than I am with the one from the X1 Carbon. So, really, really nice print. I can't believe that little printer printed such a nice big piece like this. So I decided to order one to keep here, and maybe I haven't decided how to shuffle around the printers yet, but I just thought that I needed to share this with you today because this is an extreme value for a printer from Bambu Labs. And let me take you over to their website real quick so you can take a look at it. And this is the Bambu Labs A1 Mini, and it is currently on sale for $199, which is hard to believe. And they also take PayPal, by the way. This is the printer here. If you want to use the AMS and print in full color, then they have this one here as well for $349, and you can print in up to 4 colors. It's not like the X1 where you can daisy chain these 4 to another 4 to another 4. You can only use 4 colors on this one, but still 4 colors should be enough for almost any print that you might want. So that is $349, as you see here, complete. So you can print in 4 colors. I mean, there's no deal like this on the internet, and this one is $199 if you just want to do single prints. This is going to be a short video today. I'm just going to go over some of the features and tell you how excited I am to have this in the shop. So here it is when I first got the box in the mail, and I did the unboxing. I'll put that up on the screen, and you can see how easy this was to unbox. The machine was like 99% ready to go. All you had to do was take off a shipping fixture, which I think was 3 screws, take out the styrofoam or the foam supports. It was ready to go right out of the box. Plug in the PTFE tube, and I don't remember, maybe 1 or 2 other little things. Like 5 minutes to get this whole thing running. Right out of the box, it does a full calibration on its own when you first start it up. Now, I didn't install the app because I already have the X1 Carbon, so I'm not going to cover that today, but I just added this printer to my profile. So now I have both of them in the desktop software. But the sound on this thing is extremely quiet. I mean, if you compare it to the X1, it's like night and day. I think they advertise 48 decibels. If you get the AMS, you can do multicolor printing. It has active flow rate compensation, active motor noise canceling, so it goes through a whole calibration where it determines what settings to use for the least amount of noise. It's pretty much plug and play, and it has very high speed precision. And I got to tell you, I'm thinking that this print that I did on the A1 Mini came out better than this one that I did on the X1 Carbon. And on the X1 I used supports, and I'm still working on getting the supports out, and it still has to be, you know, polished and all, and it's just not the greatest print in the world. But then you look at this one, and I decided to do this one with no support. So if you take a look at the inside, that is a pretty darn good job with no supports, especially with this angle. This was just a test to see if it could actually make this angle, and it sure did. I mean, there's a little bit of stringing in there, and right up in the front there's a little curling up here in the front as well. But this piece can be used right off the printer. I can just snip these off, which I'll do, snip these off, and this is ready to use. And I got to tell you, this one was a nightmare getting all the supports out, and I still haven't finished. I still have to clean this up in here, and it didn't come out any better. No stringing at this part up here, but that's a pretty big angle right there for that printer to make and do it well. And you know, you're using this as an exhaust port, so it doesn't need to be perfect. You know, I would print those one after the other on that A1 Mini without any support, and of course you use less material and so on. Getting back to their website, this is on sale for $199, which is unbelievable. I don't think you're going to find a better product out there, which is why I wanted to throw this video up real quick. So let's go through the website a little bit. Active motor noise canceling. So that's what I was talking about earlier. It actively monitors the noise during the initial calibration so that it uses the right settings. And yeah, I was right, 48 decibels is the amount of noise it puts out. This comes completely pre-assembled, pre-squared, pre-tuned, and they say 20 minutes to set up for your first print. I guess I was ready after about 12 minutes, 12 or 13 minutes, but then it needed to do its initial testing. And I think that took closer to about 15 minutes. So closer to 30 minutes when you go from box to print. And this is, it's a typical bed slinger. So with the Core XY speed, and it has high speed precision, 14 minutes to do a benchy. And I don't do benchies. I'd rather do an actual project that I've done before and see how it comes out. So you can sync this with Bamboo Studio. And one thing I don't think they mentioned, and sort of took me by surprise, because when I hit print, I went to the camera screen in the Bamboo Studio, and it has a camera. So here you can see the view from the camera. I mean, that sort of took me by surprise. I didn't realize that. So the build volume on this is 180 by 180 by 180, and that is just enough to do this 90-degree elbow for a laser, the exhaust elbow. It comes in 0.4 millimeters included. You can also use 0.2, 0.6, 0.8, any of those. It is a stainless steel nozzle. You have an extra one in the box. You get all of the tools. The heat bed goes up to 80 degrees Celsius. The speed up to 500 millimeters per second. You know, just a couple of years ago, we didn't even dream about speeds that high. And then the max acceleration, 10,000 millimeters per second. Now, it's not compatible for all types of filament, but as you can see here, ABS, ASA, PC, PA, PET, is not recommended. So being that I use mostly PLA plus, this was perfect for me. Some people have said that they've printed with this with ABS with no problem, but I would listen to the manufacturer recommendations. And here it is right here. And I didn't actually see this monitoring camera. It is not, I will say, it is not as high speed as the camera on the X1, but it still works well where you can see your job, and you can start a job in the office and monitor it from home in the app. So all the typical things, filament runout sensor, it's got all of the standard things. I wanted to just take a few minutes today to bring this to your attention because, like I said, if you're in the laser world or the CNC world, you're probably going to want to either be in or already are in the 3D printing realm. And there's an old saying, one is none, two is one. And basically what that means is with 3D printers, it's always good to have a spare that's ready to work. So even if you do already have a 3D printer, it would be a great idea to pick one of these up while it's on sale for $199 and use it as a backup or a secondary. And I know a lot of you have 3, 4, 5 3D printers, and some of you have print farms, where you have a dozen or more. This would fit in perfectly. So that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about today, is to make sure that you all know about this sale that Bambu Labs is having. And when I saw it, I said, oh, I need to get another one just in case. So I got the A1 Mini, and I tell you, I am this is the best, in my opinion, best value 3D printer on the market today at $199. So, and of course, if you want to get the AMS, it's a little bit more. If you want to print in 4 different colors or three different colors, But anyway, down below the video, I've got a link. It's an affiliate link to Bambu Labs. If you click on that link, the channel gets a small commission. Helps us to keep going and pay the bills. And you can pick one of these up for $199. So I highly recommend that if you've never been in the 3D printing game before, that you pick up one of these, because not only can you get into the 3D printing easily, but these are probably the simplest ones to use, and they have all sorts of pre-made projects that are already programmed into the printer. You can scroll through the projects and pick the one that you want and hit print. It's just that easy. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this short video today about this new A1 Mini from Bambu Labs. And as always, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Shining bright, laser light in the bayou tonight. Rich the Louisiana hobby guy, he's ready for his flight. With his engraver in hand, he's got ideas in his sight. Carving dreams and making art, he's gonna do it.